Hi Taurus, I'm Anisha. You can write to me at tarotbyanisha@gmail.com. You can also visit my website www.tarotbyanisha.com. And this is your monthly forecast for July 2014. Taurians, we begin this month with three major planets that are going to be affecting you this month. We begin the month with a new moon in Cancer. We move on to Jupiter that is going to be entering Leo. And finally, we'll wrap up with Saturn that is going to be going direct in Scorpio towards the 20th. Now we begin this month with a new moon in Cancer, and that is highlighting a part of your chart that has to do with higher learning. It has to do with education. It has to do with travel. The focus is going to be there on your communication skills, interactions and contact with others. It's a favorable time to be taking any form of exams or tests that you may be wanting to take, to fill forms, or even to apply at new universities to add new skill sets to yourself, Taurians. It's also a good time wherein some of you who have been wanting to travel to far off places, it's a good time to be planning for those travel as well. A lot of you will find at this time that your curiosity levels have increased, and earlier maybe wherein that you have sort of shied away from studying or for a deeper understanding or knowledge. This is a time where you will actually find yourself digging deeper and trying to gain more knowledge and more insight about a concerned subject. You are no longer just going to be happy about superficial information that is given to you. And this is with regard to any aspect in your life, whether it has to do with your work or it has to do with your personal life. You will be digging deeper as to what is the root cause, or try to have a more deeper understanding or something at work which otherwise you would have just thought, it doesn't concern my department, I don't need to be doing it, but you'll find yourself getting more interested. Jupiter enters Leo on the 17th in a part of your chart that has to do with home and family, so you can expect a lot of lovely times spending time with your parents, with extended families, with your siblings. A lot of you will find that this works as a great healing for you, wherein conversations or communication has got broken in the past and you have had issues maybe with your parents or with a certain parent. You'll find that this time things get bridged over and you are able to hold some very sensitive conversations with great ease. You'll also find yourself really supported well from your home environment, and there'll just be a sense of great belonging, Taurians, this month at home. A lot of affection, a lot of love from your parents, and you will also, some of you could also be living in maybe a larger place that you have lived earlier. There just could be a sense of more material comfort, a more luxurious space that you were staying earlier. For those of you who have changed home or are maybe joined a new workplace, it just speaks of a sense of more comfort than you were there earlier, whether it's at home or it's at workplace. You could also be taking a great interest in family issues, whether it has to do with your parents' health or real estate, or some of you could also be thinking about selling or buying a house for financial gain, and it is a good time to be doing that. So there's a lot of material comfort around you as well. Some of you can also gain through inheritance of some sort from your parents or from your grandparents. So a lot of material comfort is indicated around mid-month. Around the third week of July, we have Saturn that is going to be going direct into Scorpio, and this is covering a part of your chart that has to do with your marriage. It has to do with partnerships. A lot of you, and this aspect began from you from beginning of 2013. So it speaks about responsibilities, it speaks about commitments, and a lot of you who have been feeling the pressure a lot of pressure in your marriage and in your closest relationship. You could be feeling the weight of the responsibility, and some of you could be weighing as to not really a decision, but I think a lot of pro and a con exercise could be going on right now as far as your marriage is concerned. And for some of you, it could have been quite a challenging time since a year and a half, where you could have been sitting and actually evaluating whether this relationship is really worth it or not. Some of you will have the courage wherein there is no there is no way to put the relationship back, uh, whether you decide to walk away from it and start with a clean slate. So a lot of I think Saturn lessons are going to be going through your mind. And since it's just about another 6 months when Saturn is there in your chart, you could also have, despite understanding, that maybe a lot of share of the responsibility, or a lot of the responsibility lies on your shoulders to make the relationship work. You could, some of you could be feeling quite lonely in the relationship, and it could just I think make you more introspect as to what is it that you want to do with your relationship and where it is that you see the relationship go. For some of you, there could just be a sense of acceptance or resignation, understanding. I think finally there will be some sort of clarity wherein that you will know that this is not going to change and this is how it is going to stay. And your course of action or route going forward as to how it is that you make peace with yourself, or you make your own space or world within that limitation. So a lot of you are going to be sitting and planning as to what is it that you do with yourself, considering all the limitations that are there. Taurans, you're going to be looking at relationships more seriously. They are no longer simply fun or something that mirror our own egos. And you will also be realizing that constantly the other person's needs will always be far more than yours. And by the time that Saturn finally moves out and the transit gets over by end of December, you could have learned a lot about compromise and commitment in a relationship. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Taurians. I'll see you again next month, and thank you so much for watching.